Woo! That was a tearjerker. We'll get into it right after this.
Hard, play hard, grind hard, stay hard, no, we stay out, make your way out, but I just can't stop, won't stop hustling, but I just...
Mary J. Blige's My Life is an Amazon documentary that will be available to the masses on June 25th. But you know your boy got to see it a little early today. It tells the tale of Mary J. Blige when she set the road on fire with her 1994 LP, My Life. This is a documentary by Vanessa Roof about the rapper and actress. It reveals the demons and blessings that inspired the record and propelled her to international stardom. She celebrates the 25th anniversary of her most influential work by performing the album live for the first time. Let's unpack this. First of all, if you know, been following my channel, you know it's like a tier. It's Mary J. Blige, Anita Baker, and then Beyonce, Mariah Carey. That shuffles around from time to time, but Mary J. Blige is my favorite. Like, and it's because of this documentary, what showcases, which is her ability to relate to her consumers. Mary J. Blige just has that uncanny. She might not be the best sanger, and I'm talking about sanger. Yes, she doesn't have the vocal power of a Whitney Houston. She doesn't have the inflections, the high notes of a Mariah Carey. But one thing Mary J. Blige has the ability to do is to make you feel her music. With even the slightest inflection, for My Life, for example, like I get more goosebumps from when she does that on certain songs, where she'll just be like 7 days, like she just has this, she just got this ability to make you just feel what she was going through, and it's so relatable. She's a goat, man. She's just a goat. But anyway, back to the documentary. So this showcases how she started. You know, where she was born. They show pictures of Little Mary, which I never seen before. How she was, living with her pops, and kind of broke away. He wound up doing his own thing, and then they moved to Yonkers with just her mom, and it was her and her other sister. And one thing about I always like about Mary J. Blige is she always has her sister present with her. That's like her best friend. And to this day they still tight. And it showcases the things she went through as a young girl, and there's a lot of things that got revealed in this documentary that I didn't know about her. At the tender age of 5, dealing with sexual abuse and just so forth and so on. She just had a lot of pain, and she said that in the documentary, how she carried a lot of pain, not only for herself but for her neighbors. She witnessed her neighbors getting abused by guys, her mom getting abused by guys, and all that pain she carried. And when it was time for her to get her start, all that transferred over into the music, and that's why you have the masterpieces that you have. Listen, a lot of people's favorite Mary album is either the first three. It's 401, My Life, or Share My Road. My go-to, I love Share My Road. That because it's just the time in my life. It was when I was coming into a young man and dealing with females, and that was like the soundtrack of that age. But also, I like to say the first three albums are one continuous album, with the first being, her starting off as a young woman. Um, the second one, her maturing. She's still a young woman. She's maturing, but she went through something. And then the third one, just coming full circle, her overcoming what she went through and just sharing her experiences with the world. So they also had a part in this documentary where they had a group around table of just different people from walks of life, and they were just talking about how they first encountered Mary J. Blige's music, and each of them had a story, and each of them had went through something. Necessarily wasn't a negative experience by each of them, but each of them went through something. But it was Mary's music that kept them pushing or that kept them going in life. A lot of people in this documentary said they was ready to commit suicide. They were ready. They were on a ledge. They were at the lowest points, and then they heard her voice, and it gave them hope. And I wonder how Mary J. Blige feels about that, because you come into this music thing and you don't set out. You just come out to set out to do the best you can. You just want to just pour your heart out and tell your story, but you're not thinking about how your story will affect other people, and help them overcome obstacles and hurdles. So I always wonder what she felt about it, but we get the answer in this documentary, and we realize that it wasn't purposefully that the music um reached the masses it did, because she had no idea what she was doing. But luckily, she had a big brother, which is P. Diddy, who is in the documentary, who was on the Walk of Fame, who has constantly been in her corner from day one, which is great to see, man. And they really have like a brother sister relationship, and I don't know. I think that's admirable to say the least. Because he's always in her corner, whatever she do, and who knows? Mary J. Blige might not be where she is if it wasn't for Puff Daddy giving her that push and constantly being on her ass. But yeah, this. Listen, when it comes out, watch this. Watch it. It's very inspiring. It's very it's emotional, and it's very I would say it's a learning moment. It definitely teaches you about the inner workings of a young woman coming from an impoverished environment, coming into superstardom and dealing with it, and then in between dealing with her relationships with Casey, and how my life came about. Puff said he was breaking up with Misa, who was his first child's mom, Misa Hilton, and she was going through something with KC, and they were just pouring out all these heartbreaks experiences in the studio. And he said they were crying, and the thing that pushed them through was the music. And then you also had other people in Mary's corner who was going through similar things in their life. They were relating these experiences to Mary, and Mary was just translating this into her music. And my life, I don't know if you listened to it recently. Listen to it. It still holds up to this day. When they were playing it during the documentary, I'm like, yo, I know every damn lyric to this. Why do I know this? But those first three, man. Those is classics, bar none. My Life, What's the 401, and Share My World, without a question. Now you could say albums after that have been classic as well, but those are like the trilogies to me. Those are their first three. Those is like Kanye West, college dropout, late registration to graduation. How he had his trilogy. Um, Same thing with Lil Wayne and his Carters, his first three Carters. Those are his trilogies. Those is me the best works that he had. So watch the documentary. You won't be disappointed. Um, it left no stone unturned, and hopefully she does one for Share My World, because that was my favorite album. And then she has a lot more story to tell, with her husband. So we'll see how that happens. But yeah, make sure you check it out, June 25th. Um, Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Till next time, peace.